Hey Virgos, welcome to your Emotional Baggage Tarot reading, where we'll take a look at what's been weighing you down and how you can start to release it. So let's jump right on in and start first by pulling a couple of oracle cards just to see what energy is surrounding this reading for you guys. And we're starting off first with milk and honey. Let's pull another and see what other energies are surrounding my Virgo collective. And the other card that came out is New Moon and Gemini. Communication is key. So this is, I like this combination, even though Virgo, to be honest, I feel a little bit of stress, a little bit of anxiety that's coming out. It feels as though you are sort of chasing that ultimate dream, right? And there is a sense of you're not very carefully articulating what it is that you want that may be holding you back from achieving it. It's almost like with the milk and honey card, this is like your own version of utopia. And I can feel like I want this so bad. I want this so bad. But it also feels as though when it comes to your actions, that there is a little bit of hesitancy in reaching out and asking for help. I think that for a lot of my Virgos out there, there have been times where you have experienced the need for something. And when you did try to reach out to folks to ask for help or to ask for support, you were always shut down. The answer was no, or people didn't take you seriously. Whatever the situation was, there seemed to be a real lack of support that sort of came through for you. And now that you have this, sort of clarity on what it is that you want, what it is that you want to do, that I think, deep down is going to get you closer to this dream life that you have carved out for yourself, there is a lot of hesitance about telling people or asking them for opportunities or asking them for help to get you there. And it's almost like your voice has been silenced because of disappointment before. So let's get into some tarot and see what other messages come through for you. So for my Virgo collective, what's a piece of emotional baggage that you're carrying with you right now? Well, damn. Okay, well, we have the 10 of Wands, so there's definitely some things that you're holding on to, that you're carrying, Virgos. This is a burden, and let's see if we can clarify that a little bit more. Ooh, Virgos, no wonder I'm feeling a little stressed doing your reading. Like you're starting off with the 10 of Wands, and we have the 4 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so the 4 of Wands is the gateway card. It's the 1111 card. It's, a foundation for stability, for family, for friendships, for a happily ever after. And so it feels like what you're carrying around with you is that thought that you might not ever get this. That it's sort of stressing you out. It's weighing you down. It's like, what can I do to get here? What is it that I need to do to create this foundation for my future? And it almost feels as though, again, you've had disappointments. I think that you've had a certain amount of a lack of support from the people around you. And so now there's this sense of frustration that's settling in where it's like, I know what I want. I really, really do. I can't get there. How do I get there? I feel like I can't do this by myself. So how do I get people to help me? Or am I just going to be stuck here, for the rest of my life? So how this baggage is showing up in your life and how it's impacting you. We have one that came out, but let's get another. So we have the 5 of Wands clarified by the King of Swords in reverse. It feels like you're in this fight by yourself. With the 5 of Wands, it's about someone who is trying to win, but at what cost? It just feels like this constant struggle, this constant uphill climb. And with the King of Swords in reverse, this is someone who is typically very vocal, very thoughtful, very intelligent. And I think, Virgo, that you're smart, that you have this sort of road mapped out for yourself. But it's almost as if you have lost your voice, like you can't or won't ask for help for anyone, that you're not sort of speaking up about what it is that you need specifically from the people around you. And I feel like that's super frustrating for you. Now, how did you get to this point where you're sort of carrying around this stress of worrying and not really knowing if you're going to be able to sort of get your happily ever after? We have the Lovers. So, I think that for a lot of you, this is people that you cared about. That I don't want to say they necessarily turned their backs on you, but the level of support I think that you needed from them, or the level of assistance that you needed from them, was something that you didn't receive. So let's say, for example, you were, looking for a job, and you knew that, one of your friends, one of your family members had, worked at that job before, or they, had a really good friend who works there. And when you went to them and said, hey, I would really love to work at this organization. Could you help me? And then they hit you with the, yeah, I don't really know anybody there. I don't think I can help you. And then maybe they turn around and help someone else that, get a job there. And it's kind of like, well, why wouldn't you help me? Like, I thought we were friends. I thought we had a connection. I don't understand. And so I feel like there has just been profound disappointment with the people around you. And we also have the Two of Wands in reverse. So the Two of Wands is a bit of an inflection point, right? It's about making a decision about, whether or not you sort of stay put, and whether or not you, sort of move forward. I think that you had made the decision, right, about what it is that you wanted in your life and how it is that you wanted to move forward. But again, the people around you were not supportive, and that sort of dimmed your light. It was like, well, fine, I'll do it myself. I'm not going to ask anybody for anything. If y'all aren't going to help me anyway, what's the point? What is the point? So how you can start sort of healing this, how you can start releasing some of this emotional baggage, we have the Magician in reverse. And I think the first part is maybe adjusting your expectations for the people around you, right? Even if you were to ask, for help, I think especially for friends and family and people that we generally care about, the expectation is that, why wouldn't you help me? Unfortunately, everybody's not built like that, right? And I feel like you can ask the questions, you can ask for support. And if they offer it, wonderful. If they don't, then maybe you know where to place them, right? In the hierarchy of your life, of your journey forward. But with the Magician, it really feels as though, letting go is going to start with the awareness that you are absolutely capable, but there are times that you can't do everything yourself, right? That there are people out here who are able and willing to help you. It just might not be in the circle that you have immediately around you. So, you may think about going through, a program, or branching out and meeting other people with different experiences who are more well aligned with what it is that you're trying to achieve in your own life, and, have the mindset that, hey, teamwork makes the dream work, who are going to be ready and willing to help. We also have that clarified by the Page of Swords in reverse. So the Page of Swords is my Watcher card. It's a very observant energy, if not a little bit naive, but there's typically not a lot of action that's associated with this card when it's upright. In reverse, I feel like it's time for you to start doing things a little bit differently. This is you starting to, again, expand your circle. Whether, this is something that you want to do in terms of business or self improvement, whatever the situation is, that support that you're looking for, that ability to tell people what it is that you want in hopes of garnering some sort of assistance, it's going to be, I think, from a circle outside of the one that you currently exist in. So I think that given that the Page of Swords is in reverse, it's a little bit more action oriented. So now it's time for you to get out and start expanding. It's time for you to start meeting people who are more complementary of your goals and your aspirations. Those are going to be the ones who are going to help you along your journey. And you'll be able to articulate to them what it is that you need. And I think that they will respond positively for that. Now, what you can gain by letting go of this baggage, we have the World card, which is absolutely lovely because the world really represents the ending of one chapter and the beginning of another. It's sort of the last card in the Fool's journey, right? Where they've sort of learned their lessons, these major life lessons, and now they're ready to take a new leap, right? They're ready to take a step into the next chapter of their life. So being able to let go of this baggage that's weighing you down, expanding beyond your existing circle is going to open up a new chapter for you. And we have that clarified by the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Seven of Wands. So I think what you're going to gain from this, right, is this anxiety, this stress that you've been feeling. Once you get aligned with yourself and the right people in this world, it's going to be much easier for you, I think. And you're going to see that things flow in a much more natural way. It's not going to be as much of a challenge. It's not going to be as much of a struggle. And with the Seven of Wands that we have here, this is about you sort of having a renewed energy in defense of your dream, right? So this frustration, this not speaking up, this not asking for help, I think that you are going to sort of double down on what it is that you want and saying, you know what? No, this is my dream. I want my utopia. I want my happily ever after. I'm going to go get it. And so where you may have been stressed and frustrated and anxious previously dealing with the same people and getting sort of the same rejection, I think that you're going to open your world up a little bit and you're going to invite people in who are able to help you in a way that these other people have not. So the lesson that you're learning, we have the Nine of Cups, that you don't necessarily have to sort of stick with the same circle, right, in order to enhance your happiness. There is, I think, an innate ability inside of you, Virgos, that knows what it is that you want. And I think that if you really stop and take a moment, that intuitively, you know that some of the people around you are not going to be the ones to help you get to your goal. So it's going to start with you, I think, doubling back down and being super, super firm in what it is that you want, that your happiness is not necessarily contingent on the people that are immediately around you. There's billions and billions of people in this world. And I think that looking outside of yourself and your limited circle right now is going to be an important part of your next chapter. And we also have that clarified by the King of Pentacles in reverse. So the King of Pentacles is a very stable, very giving, very generous energy. They tend to have these sort of tangible things, these goods, right, that they can offer. And I think that to a certain extent that's what you aspire to also. But I think that you're understanding that just because people have it to give does not mean that they're always willing to give. There's this sort of saying that the people who have the least are the most likely to offer it to someone else. And so I think that that's something that you have learned, that just because people have and they have the ability to do something or to give something, absolutely does not mean that they're going to do that, especially not for you. So, important but harsh and disappointing lesson, because Virgos, I think that you all are sort of the mindset where it's like, well, if I have it and I can, why wouldn't I? And I think that you're realizing that everybody's just not built that way. So another message from Spirit that we have for my Virgos: let go and enjoy. So again, I feel like all of this stress, all of this frustration that you have been experiencing has really hindered you, right? And especially when it comes to engaging with other people, asking them, for their thoughts, for their support, for their help, for partnership, whatever the situation may be. And I feel like that stress has limited you in your ability to move forward. So now is a time for you to just sort of exhale and say, okay, well, you all weren't willing to help. You all weren't willing to support. That's okay. There are going to be other people that do. So it feels like that now is a good time for you to sort of enjoy the process of getting back out there, meeting new people, developing new relationships, and, new circles, new communities that are going to be more supportive, or supportive in a different way than the community that you're currently a part of. And I do feel like that journey is going to be an interesting one. I think that you are going to find yourself with people in places and in different situations that you may not have envisioned for yourself before, but are ultimately going to be a part of your journey towards milk and honey. So let go of the stress from other people and being disappointed by them, and open yourself up to new experiences. That's going to be super important for you guys. So that's what I got for my Virgos. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.